What is it like being a Nigerian living in Canada? Hi, my name is Kcee Udonsi, and I'm your host of Nigerians to the World. And today, in Nigerians to the World, we'll be talking to Chiwendu Nwadozi, a Nigerian living in Canada. Hi, Chiwendu, how are you doing?
Hi, Kcee, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, so I'll begin with the first question as always.
Okay.
Which part of Nigeria are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Imo State, Owerri in Imo State, Nigeria. Yeah. So, but I'm married to a Delta Igbo guy. Yeah. So, but
Okay.
I'm originally from Owerri.
Okay. So, when you were in Nigeria, which secondary school, primary school did you attend?
Okay, so for primary school, I attended Futo Primary School. My dad was a lecturer at the university back then, so I attended the primary school. And then for secondary school, I attended Owerri Girls Secondary School. And then for my university, if you need that information, I went to Unical. Yeah.
Okay, University of Calabar. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So now we'll talk about your story. Okay. So how did you end up in Canada?
This is a very good question, and I'll just I'll share a little bit of my own experience. So when I finished my youth service, which I did in Ogun State, I decided to move to Lagos in search of greener pastures, as they say. But when I went there, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I didn't want to do the regular work, office work and all that. I wanted to go into the entertainment industry, fashion, all that stuff, but I didn't know how to go about it. So at some point I was able to get into a fashion training school. So I started going there for training and all that. But I was still facing some pressure from my relatives that I was living with. They're like, you should be more serious. How can you finish university and you're going to go and learn how to sew? So I was so depressed at it. Yeah, I was so depressed at the point. I just decided that I was going to take time off from where I was working, like where I was learning how to make clothes, and just maybe take 1 or 2 weeks, go to church every day, like sit down, pray, think about my life and restructure the strategy I would take, to move on. So after going there for 2 days, I noticed that they were having a prayer meeting there. And I started asking them, what are people coming here for? So they told me, oh, we just come to pray for the church and also pray for our personal problems. So I decided that I was going to join them. Maybe after praying with them, then I would do my own personal reflection. So 2 days into doing this, the pastor that was heading the prayer meetings called me and said, please don't be offended. There's this brother here that wants to connect you to his brother in Canada. I'm like, excuse me, I'm not up for matchmaking here. Because I felt like if I want a man, I can get a man for myself, right? Yeah. But he pleaded with me and I looked at it and I was like, maybe there's something to it, because funny enough, during that period, like 2-3 other people were calling me and saying, there's this my brother in Canada, there's this my sister in Canada. Oh, they wanted to connect me. So I'm like, maybe there's something to this, but I need to tread carefully, right? Yeah. So I just said, okay, you know what? Just out of respect for the pastor, I got in touch with him and he was going back to Canada that same day. But he decided on his way to the airport, he came to the church and we just spoke. We didn't really connect or anything. But after he left, like 2-3 months later, he started sending me messages on social media and all that, but I was not responding. After some time, I decided to, and then when we started talking, I realized that he was actually a nice person. He had the same faith as myself. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ and all that. And that was after about 6 months of talking on the phone and all that, he proposed to me over the phone. And then one thing led to the other. After seeing him just once, I was even imagining to myself, what does he look like? I'll even go on social media. Okay, when he came the first time, I wasn't really interested. Let me even go and see, what does he look like? I will go to social media. He's not into pictures. I don't know what he looks like, but I had already said yes because he had the same faith. So anyways, he came down to Nigeria, we got married, and then we got married 2012, and then by 2014, I joined him in Canada through spousal sponsorship. Yes.
Wow, this is beautiful.
You can say that again.
Yeah. Love took you away from Nigeria.
You can say that.
And you say the word. Wow, you have a beautiful story. Okay, like I always say that many people have crossed over for so many things. Okay,
Yeah.
because of love and family, you decided to move to Canada. Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now you have been in Canada now for how many years?
This December is going to make me 7 years in Canada.
Wow, wow, wow.
Mm.
Okay, so what do you love about Canada? You've been there now for the past 7 years.
Mm-hmm. So one thing I love the most about Canada is an organized society. Like even when I was living in Nigeria, that was one thing that used to really give me trouble. I don't know, maybe I was supposed to be born outside somewhere else. I don't know. I don't like the potholes. I don't like, they make me feel physically sick, seriously. So coming here and seeing like things are organized, you want to go to the shop, there's the shopping mall, everywhere is clean, there are parks, you just want to walk in nature, you don't want to be looking back and is there a bus coming to hit me, all those things. I was literally traumatized living in Nigeria, in Lagos. So moving here and seeing that things are really organized, people follow the laws, the traffic signs, they actually work, the zebra crossings, they actually work. So all those kind of things, like that's what I love so much about Canada. You can actually live and enjoy life. You understand? So because things are organized, you know what tomorrow brings. There's not the things we pray too much about back home. There's some things you don't need to pray. Oh Lord, NEPA, let them bring light. There's nothing like that here. So, so I just love the fact that it's very organized. Yeah. Not that I'm trying to put down our country. I love Nigeria. I am a proud Nigerian, but I'm just saying what I love about Canada. Yeah.
Sure. The beauty thing about life is when things are done in order. Okay,
Oh,
that is
yes.
the beauty thing about life. Okay.
So true. So
Now,
true.
you've been there for about 7 years now, and then I know that probably now you have many friends. Okay, but let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. What was it like when you first got there? What were the people like?
Okay, well, for me, I think my own experience was different because my husband has already been here. So it's not like all of us came like JJC, as they say, so he had some background, he had some friends. But for me, when I moved here, and then we moved to a new place, actually, like a new city. Yeah, so the people were very friendly, like too friendly to a fault, because sometimes from back home, sometimes if people are too friendly, you're like, is this normal? Is this normal? So there was this neighbor, he was so friendly, he was outgoing, he would come, oh, do you need the shovel? Do you need this? Oh, I can take you and your son, to go check out the subway, all those things. And I was like, this man, you are looking, this man is suspicious, so why is he coming to me? It wasn't anything like that. When I was pregnant, everybody's just, hey, hi, what's the sex of your baby? Oh, congratulations. When are you due? When is your due? I'm like, Jesus, this one they're asking. So, but generally what I'm trying to bring out is that the people were very welcoming. So the only issue was on my part. I was kind of being like, it was something new to me. So it took me a little bit of time to adjust, but it was very nice and welcoming, yes.
Wow, your experience is very, very amazing. Not everyone will have the same experience just like you did, okay? Sure. I believe from your experience that Canadians are amazing people to associate with. Okay, so now you've talked about how you ended up in Canada and what the experience was like, when you first moved there with the people of Canada. Now let's talk about your biggest adjustment when you first got there. What was the biggest adjustment?
Wow. I don't know, I have lots of them, but maybe I'll pick one or two and quickly talk about it. So the first one for me was coming here and realizing that I couldn't work with my certificate. Wow. Because a lot of times you come, it's not every career, but first of all, they're asking you what's your Canadian work experience, and then some kind of careers you are in. You cannot just say, oh, I'm a graduate. They will say maybe you need to go and do more certification, you need to go back to school. So for me, it was a big blow to myself. I'm like, okay, I was the, jovial person. I can crack jokes. Now I crack my Nigerian jokes. Nobody is understanding me. I can't work with the certificate I have. I felt like I was nothing, you understand? So it's like starting from scratch. So it took me a while to be able to understand that my certificate, even though it may not be all the best here. It may not get me what I want here. It doesn't take away from who I am. I am a human being made in God's image. I am worth it. It's just for me to adjust. So that was a major issue for me, realizing that whatever I was in Nigeria, I have to start all over again. I have to start from the scratch. So it was a huge shock for me. Yeah.
Wow. That is a great shock, even as I'm listening to you. But do you know what the factor could be why your Nigerian certificate could not earn you a job over there?
Well, the thing is, like in Canada here, they have some, it depends on the career you are going into, because for example, I have friends that are bankers and all that, and they are able to easily integrate into the banking sector here. But for example, you find people that are doctors, you find people that are in some high-tech careers, you understand, and professions. They are just like, if such people you studied in, let's say the US or UK, all those places, the certificates are usually equivalent and they'll be acceptable. So for my husband, for example, my husband studied ophthalmology in Cuba. But even though he studied in Cuba, and Cuba is well known for, medicine and all that, but he had to go back and still brush up on his certificate before they could allow him to practice here. So it depends on your field of study, you understand, and the career you want to pursue when you come here. So it's not all of them that you can just walk in and start. Some of them you need to brush up. So, but if you don't know about that, it might it's very demoralizing. Yeah, so.
Okay. Thank you for, helping us with that answer. Okay, so now let's also, come back to your Nigerian roots, okay? We always say in our way that Naija person, they carry last, okay?
Oh, okay, yes.
So, now, now you're in Canada, okay? When they discover you are Nigerian, like what are some of the responses you get when they discover you're Nigerian?
Well, from my own experience, I think people generally respect Nigerians. They think Nigerians are smart. Oh, yeah, you're Nigerian. The first thing I know this Nigerian. Oh, it's this person. Oh, my fiancé is a Nigerian. Oh, my this is a Nigerian. So I think there's generally a good reception for Nigerians. Like I mentioned, I don't know if people have different experiences, but what I'm sharing is my own personal experience. So people love to see people from other countries, you understand? But when you say you're Nigerian, it's not like some countries you might mention, they might be like, oh, wow, really? They don't know it. But people can relate easily. Oh, Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria. Yeah. So people, they're just friendly. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you're from, but Nigeria is recognized. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, sure. Nigerians to the world.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So let's also talk more about this, okay? Knowing that you're Nigerian, okay, does it in any way open doors for you?
Well, I wouldn't say being Nigerian particularly opens a door for you, but I think that being a newcomer opens doors for you when you go to the right place, because Canada is from my own experience, I would say that Canada is welcoming to newcomers. So they have like centers that are set up if you come in newly and you just don't know where to even start from. They have newcomer centers, like settlement centers. You can go there and get all the direction you need and all the help you need to be able to adjust. So I don't think it's about being Nigerian or being maybe from any other African country, but because some people have had negative experiences. So what I try to do as a Nigerian here is wherever I go, whether I'm renting a house, wherever I go, I try to leave a positive mark so that any other person that says, okay, I'm a Nigerian, they can say, oh, I know this Nigerian lady, she's so awesome. So that is my target. I don't know what notion people already have about Nigeria, whether it's negative or positive, but I try to always leave a positive mark so that, to represent the positive side of Nigeria, yes.
Thank you so much, Chiwendu, for always, carrying the pride of Nigeria, wherever you go. That is the best thing you can do, for us back home, trying to paint the right image about Nigeria. There are many people who are Nigerians, and what they go about doing is, to create bad impressions, negative images about we here. So thank you for all you do. Now let's, go back, a little bit to Canada, okay? And then let's talk about the population, okay? So how diverse is the population in Canada?
Okay, I would say Canada is a multicultural country, right? People from all over the world. So, but in the area where I'm living, some areas you go to, maybe you might find a particular population, maybe Indians will be more there, or maybe Nigerians, or maybe whites. So I live somewhere called in the Barry area. Yeah, so it is a little bit up north. So we have more of whites here. Although in the past 1 or 2 years since I moved here, I'm having lots of Nigerian neighbors, Africans, and Caribbeans, people from, like, it's just a mixed society, but it depends on where you're living. So the area you go to you might have more of whites or more of this other place, but you always have people from different continents of the world represented. Yes.
Okay, that is cool. That is cool. Now, are there any interesting customs there?
Well, I am not too familiar with lots of the customs, but I know that, okay, we have the Thanksgiving is a popular culture here. Like every year they celebrate Thanksgiving. They have all these their Halloween,
yes,
and other such stuff. Yeah. So, but I am not. If they have specific cultures, maybe if you go to the people that they call the First Nations and all that, they might have more intense or cultures or traditions. But basically, the ones I'm familiar with is like the regular ones. We have Christmas, New Year, Easter. We have the Thanksgiving, and then the Halloween. So those are some of the customs they have here.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So now let's talk about the family. Here. Mm-hmm. So what is it like raising children in Canada?
Very good question. Oh my goodness. So coming to Canada, when I came to Canada, I already had my son. I gave birth to my first child in Nigeria, and he was 10 months. He was 10 months old when I came. So by the time I came, I already have this background of, I was brought up in a very disciplined home. My dad was the greatest of all disciplinarians, if I might say. Oh my goodness. So, but I felt that I turned out well. I and my siblings, we turned out well. We are people of integrity and all that. So I felt like, okay, everything has to be strong hand, this, that. But coming here and realizing you can't just beat your children anyhow. You can't do this, you can't do that. It could be called abuse. And then you go out and you see maybe some children, oh, mom, don't be silly, mom. Oh, and you're like, are these people okay? So, but over time, I've learned that we can learn from other cultures. We can learn from each other. I think there are good things about Nigerian culture when it comes to raising up children, values, respect. But I also think we can also learn from these people because they don't always come with, oh, we're going to beat. They come with a place of trying to understand the child. You understand? Yes. You put them in their place, let them understand that there is authority in the home, but allow them to express themselves. If I hear you, how will you know what is inside them? But I have learned that if you allow them, let them express themselves first, then you can now teach them and say, okay, this is not the best way to say it. I know you are angry, but you know what? Take some time out, calm down. Think about what you've done. Is this the best way you could have handled it? And then when they come back, you talk to them. So I am that Nigerian mom that has learned how to call my children, oh, my sweetie, my darling. Oh, I'm not like all those, if I watch all these Nigerian memes, let's say if I hear you, I'm not like that. I am. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I have taken the good side of Nigerian culture. I teach my children to be respectful. It's not, oh, hi, hello. Yes, they are still Canadians because they will still say that. But I try to, tell them to don't just say it flippantly. Try to be more respectful, understand that there is authority and all that. So, but I'm not into, all those hitting and blowing. If there is need to correct, there are different ways of correcting. It doesn't have to, end up being beaten and making them to become so fearful. Because I think many of us as Nigerians, we are very fearful. We can't even speak up. And I think a part of it comes from the way we are suppressed. You can't, can you talk to your daddy? You dare not. So, but I just, that's my own take on it.
Yeah, that is true, even I'm also not a fan of, child abuse. Those style of parenting, even though, it helps us, to become better in society, but it's not the best way to handle, parenting.
At all.
Okay, so let's talk about the cuisine in Canada, okay?
Okay.
Which kind of food, do you love, and which one also can you recommend to someone to try out?
Okay, so with regards to Canadian cuisine, Canada being like a multicultural society, it's not like, okay, you say this is the main Canadian. I know that I tried to even research this as, okay, what is Canadian cuisine? And there wasn't really anything specific. I know that there's one that they call poutine, which is French fries with a bit of gravy and all whatnot, but it's not, I don't think I've even eaten it before. But the thing about here, the cuisine here is, depending on the part of Canada where you are, the people that are there, you will see more of their food. So for example, where I used to live before, there were lots of Chinese, Indians, and so there is, okay, Chinese restaurant, Indian restaurant, and all that, Thai restaurant. So you see as in cuisine of different parts of the world. That is what makes up. So Canada doesn't just have Canadian cuisine. It's like a mix of different cultural foods. So I've been exposed to different cuisines, and I'm loving them. I'm actually a serious fan of Chinese cuisine. I love eating Chinese food anyhow. I love it so much. And I think I love a bit of the Indian, the spiciness and all that. So yeah,
Okay.
but when it comes, but for, if you're talking of, okay, let's say Thanksgiving and all that, we have specific foods that every Canadian you end up eating. Like during Thanksgiving, people do turkey and all those things. It's not like chicken like we have in Nigeria. Yeah, so that's basically that.
Okay, it's pretty amazing to know that there is diversity in their food. Okay, that means anybody who is coming into Canada from any part of the world will surely find their cuisine to enjoy life.
Definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
so you talked about having the French fries, the Indian shop, and the Chinese shops. Are there any Nigerian shop or Afro shop in Canada?
Oh yes, oh yes. So it depends also, like I said, like if you go to the Toronto area, the Toronto downtown, you see like Nigerian restaurants. You will see like like where you can go and eat your nkwobi, siewu, all those, you see it there, right?
Wow.
Yes. So there are Nigerian restaurants, there are Nigerian shops everywhere. Even when I moved to this area, which is up north. So when you are moving up north, you see more of the whites. Yeah. So moving here, there were no Nigerian shops, but in the past 1 year plus now, there are about 3 or 4 different people that you can reach them and they're like, okay, I sell Nigerian food. So although we also have more of caterers, I've not seen any Nigerian restaurant in this area. But if you want caterers that can cook, okay, you want to have a Nigerian party, we have lots of them. So you have access to our Nigerian style of food very well. It's just a matter of, are you willing to pay the price? Yes.
Okay.
It's expensive, yeah, but you have it.
Okay, that means we still have our Nigerian jollof in Canada.
Oh my goodness. In my house, it's mostly Nigerian food we eat actually, although I try to use a little bit of a mix of Canadian ingredients and all that, but it's Nigerian food all the way.
Okay. So I know you've talked about the Halloween and the Thanksgiving, okay? But are there, any specific events or activities that, when people are visiting Canada, or maybe they are coming on vacation, that they should, try to attend or to look out for?
Okay, so of course there are lots of Canadians know how to have fun. So like if it's, let's say, during Christmas, I really like the one they call Santa Parade. So during the Santa Parade, you see people from different backgrounds, like it's like businesses, churches, different organizations in the town will come out together. They're wearing their Christmas gear, Christmas decorations. You see lots of it's a beautiful sight. And it's like a parade. Each one is just passing, playing music. Everybody is dancing. They're sharing candy. It's lots of fun. Like, I had never attended it before. All this while, I'm just like, okay, I'll just stay in my house. Someone will ask me, did you go to that parade? I'm like, did anything happen? So, but I attended it in 2019 before the COVID came. And for the first time, I'm usually a reserved person when I'm outside. But for the first time, I saw myself, I was screaming. I was like, I was having so much fun. And at the end of it, you see Father Christmas or Santa, you see him calling your name. Hey, Sharon, hi. You just be hello, ho, ho, ho. It's so much fun. So other places you might want to check out, like maybe during summer, you can check out places like what they call it, Canada Wonderland. So it's a place where it's like an amusement park. They have lots of fun rides, crazy rides. I actually took my family there, and you just become a child when you go there. It takes away all the stress. And then also during summer, I like to take my children for, they have fruit farms where you can go and just, you pay a little money and then you have your basket and you go in there. They have strawberries, blueberries, raspberries.
Wow.
Just go inside the farm. You see it everywhere. Just keep picking, fill your basket, but eat until you can eat no more. So it's a it's a good place to take family, and there are just lots of fun stuff. You can go to the aquarium, and then like in Montreal Gardens, they have it's up there in at the capital side of Canada. They have all these Montreal Gardens, beautiful. I've not been there yet, but I've seen it on Pinterest and all that. They have these flowers that they cut it in different shapes. It could be a human being, it could be a tall horse. So yeah, there's so many sites, Niagara Falls, just you name it. There are lots of places. So if someone is coming to Canada and you're wondering, just go on, you could also go on internet and say, okay, fun places to visit in Canada in summer or in winter or whatever, and you get all the information you need. Yeah.
Okay, that is interesting. Okay, so let's also talk about the music. Drake, I know this is from Canada, and he's a huge name in the music industry. And last time he did a song with our own Whiskey, One Done. Yeah, we also know recently Justin Bieber, who is also a Canadian, jumped on Essence, which is also making waves at the moment. How big, is our Nigerian song over there? How big is Afrobeat?
Well, I wouldn't say although I'm into into music, I sing and all that, but I'm more into the gospel music sector. Yes, and so I wouldn't know much about what goes on, because those places, where would they play those those type of music? Maybe in the clubs or in some other places like that, or maybe let's say open gatherings, which I am not much into, so I wouldn't know. But when it comes to let's say you go to our Nigerian churches here, any new song that you think is just coming out in Nigeria today, they're already singing it here. So when it comes to that, I think it's mostly Nigerians that promote Nigerian music here. So I've not seen it, like I attend a white church here, so I've not really seen the incursion of our own type of music in those areas. So I think it's mostly about those that live in predominantly Nigerian or African settings, you understand? And also depending on your own kind of lifestyle will determine, they might be better able to answer that kind of question. Yeah. So.
Okay. So thank you, for giving us your honest answer to that question. So even as we, wind down, what piece of advice can you give to someone who is thinking or planning peradventure to, relocate to Canada or even going there on a vacation? What advice can you give to the person?
Okay, so for someone that wants to relocate to Canada, I would encourage the person to do your research very well, okay? Because, for example, my husband, when he came, he thought, oh, I'm a doctor, I'll just come here and I enter. And he didn't know that he will have to go and do certification. And if you are coming, you are planning, oh, maybe I'm using my last card to come. And once I come, I'll just get a job. And then you realize you actually have to go to school and it's expensive. It can kind of throw the person into a place of depression and discouragement, right? So I would encourage anyone that wants to come to Canada to do your research well. With the certificate you have, can you actually start working with what you have right away? And if you have to go to school and do a certification to kind of buffer up your skills or whatever, do you have the money saved? So as I say, proper planning prevents failure. Yes, so that is one suggestion I would give, or advice I would give to anyone that wants to come to Canada. Do your research very well. That one person came and did it this way doesn't mean that method they used to enter will work for you. That this person came through as a student doesn't mean you should come as a student. Do you have what it takes to pay the money, to go to school? You understand? So you find the immigration pathway that works for you. And another thing I will also say, I will advise anyone that wants to come, that this should actually be the number one advice. Make sure you are coming legally. Don't say, okay, I will get visa and I will just escape. And it is frustration all the way. Things are very expensive in Canada. So let's say someone comes without papers. You can't have access to government health insurance and all those things. And that is frustration. I've known people that came in this way, and every one of them I know has regretted it, right? So first of all, come with the right papers. Secondly, even if you get your papers, do your research well. And then thirdly, I also encourage newcomers or those that plan to come to Canada. When you come, it's good to join our Nigerian community, because it gives you a sense of, oh, you hear people telling you, don't worry, everything is going to be fine. I started this way, I started that way. But then don't just stop there. Don't make yourself as if you are in Nigeria here again. There's no reason why you should come all the way from Canada and then you just kind of limit yourself to relating with only Nigerians. It was when I came out and said, you know what, let me push myself, go beyond my comfort zone. Although, okay, when I came out, I speak English, I understand English. But sometimes when you're speaking with those that have spoken it all their life, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't even want to deal with it. But I will push myself, I will go there. The more you relate with them, you begin to see how they reason. You begin to see, they will give you sound advice. And before you know it, some of the things that you may not be able to accomplish just because you are working with those that are comfortable, this is the people I know, you will begin to have more ideas how to integrate. And that was one thing that really helped me. So those are the three things I would say. First of all, come with the right papers. Secondly, do your research well. And thirdly, try to mingle with everybody from every culture. It will help you and expand your horizon so that you don't become, you're living in Canada, but you're narrow-minded. So those are the three things I would encourage.
Wow, thank you so much, Chiwendu Nwadozi, for joining us today on the show Nigerians to the World. It is amazing to know that you are also projecting us over there, and continue to do so. And please also, to our viewers, please don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video if you want to support us. Okay, thank you, and I will see you in the next one.